Oh, my bad. I've been talking. Yeah, I had it muted earlier. I didn't start the stream at the start of the race. I missed the start of the race. I was just watching on my TV in the living room. And about 2 minutes after I tuned in, you know, they go to commercial. And they're doing the side-by-side. And the wreck happened. The big one. So I think I caused it. You know, seems like they were running pretty clean until I tuned in. So that's my bad. That's on me. Yeah, 3 really strong cars involved. Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed. 2 of our playoff drivers. Crazy stuff. And it's always crazy when there's a big one in the tri-oval when you're at the track because you have the best view of it. You know, back in the day, you could sit on the backstretch, so you'd have a good view of the wrecks back there. But nowadays, if the big one happens back there, you really just see a puff of smoke, and then you're watching the giant screens for the replay. Good to see you, Jared. Just getting this NASCAR race underway. We're back under yellow flag. We were under red flag for a little bit for this big one. Sheldon Creed, hard in the wall. Arkansas has empty stadiums. Yeah. It made me laugh when they played Memphis earlier this year. Memphis is right on the border with Arkansas. The stadium was empty. That's not true. There were people there, but there were still plenty of empty seats. Not many Arkansas fans bothered to show up. And it didn't seem like many Memphis fans bothered to show up. It was wild. So it wasn't empty, but relatively speaking, yes. Not many people showed up. Let's see what our running order looks like now that half the field got taken out. So as they're scored, Nick Sanchez has scored the leader. Austin Hill, Jesse Love up front. That's to be expected at these play tracks. William Sawalich, Justin Allgaier, Connor Mozak, Eric Almirola, Christian Eckes, Carson Quaffle, Sammy Smith, Daniel Dye, and Blaine Perkins. It's our top 12 there. Skidge says he has Cody Ware winning Talladega tomorrow. Cody Ware is my NASCAR 25 online driver. That's who I've decided to ride with. I have Arby's on the car. This is your reminder, if you're a member of NASCAR Fan Rewards, go ahead and check in now. That's right, an Arby's Mustang. All right, going back green. Only 5 laps to go. Skitch said there's a tornado warning right now. The race keeps getting interrupted. That's wild. So looking at the severe weather map, I know exactly where you live now, Skitch. Exactly where you live. I know you're in this general 100 by 100 mile square. I'm watching you, Skitch. Golly, my signal has been terrible today. It's great in the living room. In here on this television, it's awful. I've made so many adjustments to the antenna. I think it's because it's a little overcast today. Austin Hill back to the lead. Jesse Love in second. You expect to see Austin Hill run up front at these plate tracks. Now here he is. They're still going at it. 3 wide through some of the pack. It's a much smaller pack now, though. It's always entertaining to see the big one, but I always hate how the field thins out afterwards. All right, coming around to 2 to go in stage 1. Skitch says he has Hill winning. He definitely is a good plate racer. If and when he ever moves up to the Cup Series, it'd be interesting to see if he continues winning. But I'm just not sure he has any money with him to go Cup racing. Only way I see him moving up really is if RCR expands, or maybe if he takes Ty Dillon's ride, or if Austin Dillon retires. Creed in a must-win at Martinsville. That's rough. He is decent at Martinsville. He knows how to get it done. He was about to win before his teammate took him out. Doodlebug, good to see you, man. Richard Childress retirement. That's hilarious, Skidge. I've heard rumors that Austin's looking to move into management, and perhaps he would step aside from driving when RCR steps, or when Richard Childress steps down. So we'll see. I think that'd be a good fit. I mean, obviously he knows the sport. He's been a part of it for long enough. You're watching the Indiana-Michigan State game? All right, Austin Hill taking stage 1. Under red flag due to lightning and stuff. Let me pull back open the weather map. So this is our weather map. Talladega not in the threat area right now, but this storm will push through, hopefully overnight, and hopefully that doesn't impact our cup race tomorrow. As of right now, it doesn't look like it will, but you know, you never know. Things could always change. And then we'll go up here and look at Indianapolis, absolutely covered up right now. Like, you literally can't see it. This is about where Indy would be. So yeah, I have no doubt they're getting some kind of lightning. And I mean, if you look behind it, it's not looking any better for, you know, anytime soon. So that race may be postponed for a while, especially if this is a very electrical system. If it's just maybe this front and it can kind of sap the atmosphere of some energy, maybe it calms down. I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. And then we have multiple tornado warnings down here. You can follow the track along here. Radar indicated and a possible for Arkadelphia and Gray Lake. Yes, yes. I was specifically referring to this area right here. That's Muncie. So Indianapolis is about right here-ish. It's right up I-65. So looks like the hardest part's probably sitting on top of the track right now. Looking to put the number 21 to the owner's title of the Championship 4. That's where the money's at. Not a lot of fame around it, but that's where the money is at for sure. I need to see if I can fix this signal. I made it worse. My dog can smell food, so he's freaking out. Already 3 laps into stage 2. Stage laps counting bothers me so much. We lose so much time under caution. It's my firm belief that if a caution comes out within 5 to 10 laps of the stage caution, the stage break, they should just forego the stage break You can still award points at the scheduled distance, but you don't have to throw another yellow flag. That's just silly. It seemed like half that truck race yesterday was run under caution. And NASCAR 25 interstage cautions laps don't count. That's a good way to do it. That would be crazy in a video game to restart and a third of the stage is done already at a place like Bristol. Norm Bidding said he'd be back. It's good. I'm 665 points away from champion on the NASCAR Fan Awards. So close. Yeah, the Norm Binning accident was kind of scary because his truck caught fire so quickly, and when you're running that that fast, you're feeding the fire just tons of oxygen. So I mean, you're just fueling it, and then on top of the smoke that he was inhaling, the in-car fire extinguisher went off, I guess, and then you inhale those chemicals as well. So probably not great. Skitch said he recreated Kurt Busch's Phoenix 51 in the paint booth and also recreated Ryan Newman's Army car. Skitch, you need to upload this, man. I see you're doing some weather stuff. I'm going to give you a subscription. I like the weather content you have, but you need to be uploading some paint schemes, Skitch. I need to know what's possible. I haven't really touched the paint booth at all. Like, I've just used the preset stuff. Haven't changed the first number. Haven't changed the first decal. Good to see you, Dark Side. Good to see you, Dark Side. What did you do, Dark Side FPS? I see you uploaded a video 2 weeks ago. Looks like you're playing some Titanfall. Not Titanfall. Apex Legends. It's my old man brain. All right. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Good little. Oh yeah. Good squad wipe there. Good stuff. Let's try to keep an eye on everyone's channels. Trying to get back into other games. That's good. It's good to spread out your interests. Not necessarily good for your YouTube algorithm, but it's fun to do. Tonight's gonna be Battlefield 6. Very nice. I've been enjoying Battlefield 6 so far. There's some definite changes they need to make, some fixes to Bloom and how some of the weapons work. The maps aren't necessarily my favorite right now. There's a lot of smaller ones. I prefer the large-scale Battlefield conflicts. So I wouldn't mind seeing some of the Armored Kill maps come back. What game was that? Armored Kill. Battlefield Armored Kill. That was Battlefield 3 DLC. Yeah, I liked those maps. Yes, the SMGs. I've been cooking people with the SMGs. Absolutely. There's no reason why an assault rifle should have more recoil at range than an SMG. You fire with an AR, especially if you're going to, you know, not burst fire. If you're just gonna hold the trigger down, let it walk, it'll go up and to the right, it'll come back down, up and to the left, and it's on top of that you have Bloom, so it's like you're fighting the recoil and the Bloom, and it's just all over the place. And a lot of issues with hit reg. You know, there's a lot of times I'm around a wall by like 10 feet. I'm 2 rooms away, and yet I'll get killed around the corner. And it's like, what? Like, on my screen, I was safe a whole second ago, and yet I'm still getting, you know, I'm still taking damage. Or, you know, you'll unload half a mag into a guy and get 3 hit markers. And it's like, what? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how good the SMGs are. I've heard the Vector's good, but I haven't used it yet. I've only used the, obviously the starter SMG, and I've used the MP5. MP5 is really good. I've heard good things about the MP7, but I use the MP5 at range because that's what you can do right now. And they definitely nerfed the shotgun from the beta. McDowell with a poll. I haven't actually looked at the qualifying results. I just got that update at 2:18 p.m. Yeah, so he did get it. So Jesse Love out front now. Let's see how Jesse Love manages the pack here. Now that we've restarted, you know, we've had the stage break. There's a lot more cars up here involved in this front pack. You know, a lot of them aren't very competitive, but with the draft, you know, even damaged cars can be somewhat competitive. Sketch thinks Chase Briscoe will be the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion. That's not a bad pick. If he makes it to the final round, Phoenix is one of his best tracks. I could totally see that happening. Michael says lots of F1 2015 Coda action next week on your schedule. And your schedule is posted each week in your community tab. I think I've seen from you a lot of big block action, some dirt stuff. Oh man, that's disappointing. Seat time, no matter the series, is good for driver development, especially at that early, you know, career stage. Jimmy did it a little too late in life. But especially with the similarities between the V8 supercar and the next gen car at the road courses, that would have been some good experience. Think Haas will win a lot more races next year with their Chevy transition? They're going to be one of the lower tier Chevy teams unless they have an alliance with someone like Hendrick or maybe like a Trackhouse. I don't know. They need someone to work with. Just there's so many Chevy teams, it's hard to get manufacturer support if you're not Hendrick. They do have an alliance. Who's their alliance? Because that could be huge. Hendrick? Okay. That's kind of throwing it back to the olden days. You know, Hendrick and Haas, they've had a partnership for many, many years until Haas split off to Ford. So that's cool to see that come back. That's really cool. Christian said, anything big happen yet? Yes. Yes, technically. We had a big one in stage 1. Took out a few good cars. And so that you'll see some damaged cars running around towards the back of the pack. Yeah, Tony, I don't even know if he knows what's happening in NASCAR right now. He seems completely focused on NHRA right now. Which, I mean, he's doing pretty well, so I don't blame him. Ellie, he can't speak today. Michael says 7 cars out of the race. That's tough. I hate seeing the field get smaller. I like the big packs. If we're going to pack race, I want it to be a big pack. The good thing is it seems like they've calmed down a little bit. So there's actually some room between each car for the most part. They're not making any like crazy pushes right now. A lot of cars shifting around the track. see that a lot after a big wreck. Even though they were dicing it up pretty good coming to the stage finish. After we come back from this commercial break, I would not be surprised to see it run all the way until our next caution or the stage break. Harvick dropped hints in the past that Tony lost all interest in SHR when Gene switched to Ford. Interesting. Yeah, the officials couldn't handle a modern day Tony. He'd have actions detrimental each week. But if you remember, the main reason why I left JGR was because JGR switched to Toyota in 08. Yeah, that was super weird to see Tony in a Toyota. That didn't last long. And then we saw Joey in the Home Depot 20, which was really weird to see someone other than Tony drive that car. All right, Taylor Gray off the pace. That's hilarious, Dark Side. Tony Stewart's my man. I think I have one Tony diecast. I don't actually have a Home Depot. I need to fix that. I need to get a Home Depot diecast, and I need to get a Lowe's diecast in 1/24. I do not have one of either. I have lots of their teammates, but not of those two guys. All right, Algar out front currently. Austin Hill behind him. Transmission, that's what I thought McMurray said. Sammy Smith leading that outside line. Oh, he was. Austin Hill went up to block. Now they're coming back down the track. So now we have two JRM cars at the front. Algar is really far out right now. Gonna have a huge run. This could be a dangerous time to block. But Sammy Smith on the inside will help. Oh no, we got cars going around. Oh, the mid one strikes at Talladega. Well, William Sawalich involved. We couldn't make it back to the end. That was a good little fight shaping up. You have 8 of them? One signed by Tony? That's awesome. The 2009 back to school car. You bought your mother the 3 set of his championship season diecast as birthday present when he retired. That's neat. Those were really cool cars too. Yep. Yeah, that damage is a pretty hard shot to the right side of Connor Zillage. Oh yeah, yeah, that right front's caved in. Maybe they can beat that out and he can still run behind someone. Yes, this is a very different race than the truck race. Crazy the Cup drivers kept it cleaner than these guys so far. Yeah, you gotta thank Coca-Cola. He was a Coca-Cola racing family driver. It was super weird when Pepsi backed away from sponsoring Hendrick, and then Chase Elliott immediately, who was, the Pepsi Mountain Dew guy, immediately switched over to Coca-Cola. That was wild. Yeah, I mean, these cars are taking themselves out. So we're back under red flag. Again, red flag for the second time. Wow. How about that? I got a 110 point bonus for a 10 race Xfinity check-in streak. Not bad. So we got 55 points for the leaderboard check-in yesterday, 110 for the track check-in, 55 for the leaderboard check-in, 110 for the streak, and 165 for a track check-in. Now we have the car stopped on the entrance of turn 2. Or no, the entrance of turn 3, my bad. Right off the back stretch. Not quite into turn 3. Dragging Williams Sawalch's car back to pit road. That's car's definitely done for the day. Yeah, he's definitely done. That car is beat up. You're 42 points away from champion. I'm 665. I think I'm gonna make it before the end of the season. I used to do the fantasy weekly and stuff for extra points, but I just can't keep up with fantasy, especially since I'm not in like an actual league with people I know. I don't really care. I was on the MRN fantasy league or whatever. How bad is Illich's damage? The right front was hurt pretty bad. It was caved in. So he has some right side damage, and the right front was pretty caved in. Doesn't look like the splitter's very damaged. Wow, yeah, they really pulled the dent out. Like, they literally just pulled the dent out. So with some tape, he might be able to run in the draft. Right side doesn't look too damaged. Be interesting to see under load if he has a tire rub. Yeah, if they show another replay, when you see, I forget who it was that came down the track, it just caves in Zilich's right front. Yeah, they literally pulled they pulled the dente out. Yeah. It's hilarious to me. That song is on Spotify. So like you can actually find the full-length thing. The fact that that song is not in the soundtrack for NASCAR 25 is a shame. And someone needs to lose their job over that. That is a major oversight. I want to hear Ride the Dente when I open the game. So if they ever make modding a thing for NASCAR 25, I'm going to mod Ride the Dente in there. Sawalich rode the Dente, that's for sure. Rode the Dente all the way back to Charlotte. Very overcast right now. We had some sunlight peeking through. Oh yes, everyone should play Ride the Dente. Need to get the word out. Still under red flag. Let's see if we have a replay of that last incident. Oh, we do. We do have at least a GIF. Not the best angle of it there. That would have been a pretty decent view from the grandstands. You can see the entrance to turn 3. Or not turn 3, turn 2. Golly. If you're sitting up really high, you can see pretty much all of turn 1 and 2. You just really can't see much of the back stretch. You can see like the tops of the cars. Now from the spotter stand, I'm sure you can see really well. It's just a little higher up. See if we can find that one. There's a video from Dave Moody. It doesn't look that big from where he's sitting. I guess he's probably up in the Sunoco little official stand or whatever. Oh, that's how you spell his name. No, that's the only replay we have right now, apparently. And I was hoping we would have a better one. I love this video. If you guys haven't seen this, you guys need to look this up. There's a few of these cars jumping the roundabout, so I believe this one ended up in a building. What a great jump. And like, I mean, it looks like it hits its peak, but I mean, it's got some movement to it. Absolutely flying. Red flag activities right now. I want to see if I can find that video. Oh, yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes. That is beautiful. Beautiful stuff. So now they're asking if we're even going to get the full race in. We probably will, but man, Talladega needs lights. I'll personally fund it. I'll put $5 towards it. If we just have every citizen in the state of Alabama give $5, we can have Talladega with lights. In Mississippi, they don't have a track, so they should also put forward $3 a piece. So that's plenty of money for lights. Now I just have to go to each of those states' congresses or whatever and get them to try to ratify this into law, the Talladega Lights Act, the TLA. Yep. We were talking about it yesterday during the truck race. I've been to several of these Talladega races on a Friday or a Saturday where they've run up against the nighttime, or I guess past sunset. That's really when they call it. And I've been to cup races that have been rained out because they couldn't get restarted, even though the rain had gone away. We had just run out of daylight, so they really need lights. Yes, we need to riot. Oh, we have another roundabout wreck. It's not as good. This is not as good of a wreck. You know, it's very small. Still possibly totaled the car. Run the cars for one lap. Yeah, I've been there for, it was one, I believe, an ARCA race a long time ago. And it actually got pretty dark. It was pretty dark. But then my dad and I got to a restaurant after the race, and they were already replaying the race, so we could see the end of the race that we were there for in person. And on TV, it didn't look like that dark because they had jacked up the, I guess, the picture settings. Yeah, local time, noon. Yeah, that would definitely work a lot better than 3. That doesn't give you very long. 3 hours for a race that, at the minimum, with the stage breaks and maybe like 1 or 2 cautions for incident, you're easily over 2 hours at that point. I think that's exactly how it would play out, Hamlin fan. Yes, ARC has been around since time began. And I was there for it. Yeah, that back then I think it was the ARCA Remax series. Let's pull up NASCAR.com. See if they have the points to look at. So they're saying we're gonna have a 2-lap shootout to the end, so that should be pretty crazy. Michael said if drivers pitted now, they're borderline on fuel, but can work, especially with maybe another caution or two. But overtime could put them in jeopardy. Michael, do you know what the exact or around the fuel window, what that lap count is? I wish they would announce that a lot more on the broadcast, especially before every race. Just let us know ahead of time. This is our expected fuel window. Throw it up on screen every once in a while. So I don't know how updated this is, but these are our points. Allgaier, the leader, would be locked in. Zilch 76 points above the cut line. Jesse Love 34, Sammy Smith 7. Then below the cut line, Carson Quaffle, Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, and Sheldon Creed. So those three are probably accurate. Everyone else, I'm not sure how accurate these are. They do update this throughout the race, but I'm not sure how often they update this. That's so sad, Skitch. Around 45 to 50 laps Xfinity. Okay. Man. The shadows are already getting pretty long. We still have another hour and a half here. They're saying 6 p.m. is the hard cutoff time. I guess that's about when sunset is gonna hit. Let me Google what sunset is. (6:07) local time. A jet dryer racing series. I've been at some races where the jet dryers logged more laps than the cars. Well, they start with 3 local time there. So that gives them 3 hours to get in a race that can easily take 2.5 hours. Normally, you know, run. Mr. Spaceman, good to see you, man. You still working tonight till 2 a.m.? Not sure I'll be awake at that time, but if I am, I'll probably be over on Battlefield. 2 a.m. All right. I'll try to find my EA name before then and send it to you. Have a custom Wreckfest mode, 1 Montoya versus 40 jet dryers. All right, coming to the end of stage 2. Austin Hill out front. Carson Quaffle was pushing Hill pretty good there. They're going to have a big run. Hill can block. The 7 has help on the inside. Carson has no help. All right, Hill's got this one. So Austin Hill, he's going to sweep the stages at Talladega. The JRM cars couldn't figure it out. Blows me away when teammates can't work together. And then Carson Quaffle didn't have any help on the high side. Yes, drive the jet dryers. If they're going to be modeled into the game, just let us drive them. Now I need to go search every track in NASCAR 25 throughout the infield to see if there's a model jet dryer. You know, some of the old EA games let us drive the UPS truck, so we should definitely have an equivalent now. Goodyear's such a big part of the sport. Let me drive the blimp. It doesn't have to be full size. It can be downsized a bit. All right, under commercial here. Austin Hill taking stage 2. See if the points have changed at all. Probably not. They haven't updated the leaderboard yet to include the stage 2 results. Let us be the chief. That'd be neat. Kind of like a B-spec mode from Gran Turismo. Kind of dictate your driver's strategy. Right now they're showing Zilich on pit road. I don't know if this is accurate. Pretty cool that they added this back. It's no race buddy or race view, but it is still pretty nice. I'm gonna see how up to date that is when we get back underway. Yes, Skitch, yes. Yes, part throttle definitely works. I'm not sure how long you want to be out front leading. Check this out. So before the field came back around, Zilich got back out on track. So I guess they're still trying to get that car drivable. So he's coming back around to get back with the pack. I wouldn't be surprised to see him duck back down pit road. If not this lap, maybe next lap with the field. Go get him, Zilich. Run him down. Oh no, the field is stacking up under caution. Let's see where they are on track actually. I'd love to see how up to date this is. Oh, Connor's about to catch up. So Connor has now rejoined the field. I just want to see where the cars are on track right now so I can see how up to date the website is. So if this isn't a lap behind, it's pretty accurate. So it's showing the cars about to go into turn 3 now. So it may be just a little behind, or it might be a full lap behind. If this is run off of the telemetry, this is probably more up to date than even the antenna broadcast, which is really impressive. So if you want the up to the date or up to the second accurate running order, here you go. Just watch this. This is the superior way to watch the race. You see the old runways here. And then there's I believe it's the International Motorsports Hall of Fame. A lot of cool cars there. A lot of NASCARs. Oh, the field. They're splitting up. They're splitting up. All right, Austin Hill already completed his service. Christian Eckes getting out very quickly. Allgaier with a long stop. So Hill, I guess, didn't take tires at all, or maybe just took right sides. Eckes with a quick stop too. Allgaier with a long stop. Not that it really matters too much, but you could get caught up in the big one. Running further back than you were. Your battlefield name is Bad Muzza Fuzza 51. Let me save that. I'll try to look you up and get you added. Hopefully that'll work. Your ARCA and truck trophies didn't pop. That's a shame. I think there's only like 18 trophies or something. Michael said 13 cars out of the race. That's a good amount. They have this bent carrot commercial again. Is it really 1 in 10? Is it that common? Has there ever been a trophy room in a NASCAR game? I feel like maybe I remember one. I can see it in my head. I can't tell you which game it was. Maybe it would have been the late EA games, I think. Because they used to have a trophy mode in their football games. Thunder 04. Trophy room with 3D trophies. How about that? And NASCAR kart racing had it. I'm sure NASCAR kart racing is exactly what you were looking for. You played it yesterday? That's crazy. All right, coming back to green. Zilich is already kind of losing the draft. He needs to tuck in behind someone with that much damage. That was at the kart game that had the slingshot drafting, where you would like link with someone and you could get around them really quickly. I forget which one that one was. I confused NASCAR kart racing and NASCAR Unleashed. It was that one. Nice. Very nice. I played a lot more Unleashed. Almirola out front now. It's always kind of crazy to see the drivers' heads sticking out of the top of the car. All right, we're 3 wide at the front. 37 laps to go. They're pushing pretty hard. We have Hill working with Almirola. Almirola's car dancing around. I have not played the Hot Wheels games. I've wanted to, and I just haven't touched them yet. The last couple have looked pretty decent. I just don't really invest a ton of time into kart racers unless it's Garfield Kart, the 2025 game of the year. All right, Nick Sanchez leading that inside line. Almirola coming down to block. Now Almirola's going back up top to block the high side again. Zilch is somewhat keeping up with this pack now. He's way back there at the tail end of the main group of cars, but he's up there. He just has to stay in this draft. Almirola way out front. I think that's Eckes in the middle. Sammy Smith is all over the left rear of Jesse Love. Good night. That Jesse Love backed out of it. If he had stayed in the gas, that would have been a big wreck. That was wild. They were making contact at the worst possible angle. All right, Almirola just got shuffled out. Oh my goodness. Almirola gonna actually take the line with him. Oh my goodness. It's a mad dash at the front. They're shaking out faster than I can call it out. Almirola stole the line from Hill, and it looked like Hill was going to get shuffled out. And then all, just everything. All 3 lanes started moving. Now Harrison Burton's in the lead. And his relative, Jeb Burton, I guess cousin, behind him. That's crazy. We have the Burtons at the front of the pack. Let's see how this ends. Harrison is falling back through the middle now. We are 3 wide here at Daytona. Crazy stuff. Allgaier out front right now. That'll probably change in like 5 seconds. These guys are racing right now. This is what plate racing should be. If we're going to be packed up. The gridlock we have in the next gen car is just disgusting. All right, Allgaier still leading that outside line. Jesse Love alone on the inside. Side drafting his own teammate. Now Almirola's pushing Hill. These 2 guys have been working together pretty hard today. Now Hill should probably dive down here, get help from his teammate. I like this decision. Good crossover. Now Austin Hill leading the outside line, not going down to help his teammate. I would remember that. If I was Jesse Love, I would remember that. I'm not pushing you to the win. Jesse Love's still in this thing for a round of 4 berth. So he needs to be fighting for himself. Now we're under commercial again, but we're side by side, so coverage continues. 31 to go. Outside line's looking really strong right now. 78 looking almost like a modified. Crazy a car that damaged is that far forward. Now where is Zilich? He had been keeping up. Oh, so he's in the middle line right now. Not really where he needs to be. He is trying to help his teammate. We have 3 JRM cars together, but one of them's heavily damaged. The other one's in second place. All right, we kind of have a freight train. That outside line is really shaped up. Most of the field's running in that outside line right now. Looks like we're probably going to ride around here for a little bit, coming to the end. So it looks like they're just trying to make it as of right now. So usually in the cup races, it's about with 20 to go when they stop working together to make it to the end and they would start fighting. But since we just got single filed out, I wonder how long it's going to take them to try to start make a pass for the lead here. They're running the outside line. It's the more stable line. Less wheel input. It's going to be harder to make that pass on the inside. If someone can get a huge run, maybe they could try to do a crossover like Hill did for the lead. Hill's still out front. Allgaier in second, Almirola third. Fourth, Jesse Love, one of our playoff guys. Leland Honeyman fifth. 10th, Sammy Smith. Josh Williams has our Xfinity fastest lap right now. Connor Zilic currently scored P15. That's pretty impressive. It's a championship type run. I mean, he has plenty of points. He's probably pretty much locked into the next round anyway. But it's very impressive that with damage, he's back up there running pretty competitively. At this point, he just needs to be working with his teammates. You know, he can't be the guy that is out there leading a line or leading the pack, but he can definitely still help draft with someone. Maybe push. I'm not sure how structurally sound that right front is. The splitter still looks pretty good, even though the right front was really caved in before they pulled it back out. I hope I got it. I put out a fly trap to catch these little gnats, and it hasn't caught a single one. Very sad. Yeah, Zilic definitely needs to stay in the draft. Indiana's up 35-10. Not bad. Oh, I swore I put my Colts hat on. Is this my Kyle Larson hat? Interesting. I guess I'd reach for one blue hat and I grabbed another. I thought I had my Colts hat on this whole time. Colts are pretty good this year. They should have beat the Rams. And to be that competitive with a team like the Rams, that's really good. The Colts are playing the Chargers. Yeah, hopefully he's all right. The nearest and best hospital is probably UAB in Birmingham. Not too far. So, but they have really good doctors there. So, he'll probably be looked after well if that's where he goes. Zilic is on pit road. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah. Good thing he has a very healthy points advantage, and if they can at least get it back out there. If a big one happens, maybe he can gain a few more spots. Let's go back to the NASCAR page. Yeah, Zilic on pit road. Pack's coming back around. Can he get back out on track? Doesn't. He's going to get lapped either way. Take a look here. Oh, Zilic is rejoining. He's going to go a lap down here. And he's going to go like way a lap down. He's going to be way behind the pack. He's back out on track. You posted a Cletus McFarland NASCAR video. That's very nice. There he is. Running behind our field. He needs the big one to break out soon. If he could somehow, I mean, get some stragglers. He needs something to happen here. Are the Colts going to win? Yeah, they're going to win by 600 points. Maybe 603 if we're feeling, you know, pretty good about ourselves. Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl season. We're going to be bringing that trophy back to Indy. He didn't just lose the draft. He lost a whole lap. Straggler, they're going to catch that 74 here pretty quick. Zilic really needs the big one to break out. It doesn't look like it will. They're not racing very hard. I think the Chargers are going to lose, and it's going to be your fault. I'm going to put that curse on you now. It's a championship year. And even if in the 0.0001% chance that the Colts lose, it's all a part of the plan to get a better playoff seed. You know, just more preferential. All a part of the plan. Trust the process. You have to trust the process. Oh yeah. Zilic's top 5 streak, it's probably dead. Probably dead. Looks like Zilic came back down pit road. Take a look here. So he hasn't just lost the draft. It looks like he came back down pit road. So possibly go a second lap down. Yeah, we're just talking about Sawalic. If I had to guess, they're probably going to take him to UAB unless there's another regional medical center nearby. That I don't know of one. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took him to UAB. Sawalic, he just got in the wall really hard. Pretty hard hit. He was involved in our big one, I believe. Or no, was he in the second wreck? Or I don't know. He was involved in a big wreck. I can't remember now. Talking about the Colts. Talking about Battlefield, my head's all over the place. Hill's still out front. Allgaier still second. And then teammate of Austin Hill, Jesse Love, in third. I think the Chiefs will get to the AFC Championship game. They're looking pretty rough right now. You know, I think they got a win last week. Or whatever their last game was. I think they won that one, but they're looking pretty rough. Just watching the second wreck. Yeah. All right, within a couple laps, Zilic will probably go a lap down here. He does have a car to work with. Zilic in 25th. Carson Ware running in front of him. As Zilic already scored 2 laps down. About to go a third down. Zilic, best case scenario for Zilic is we have 2 big ones. Perhaps some overtime. Then maybe he could get back some of his laps. Looks like even with a red flag, we'll probably get this race in. 45 minutes until their hard deadline. Yeah, I heard about Penn State. Probably the right move. He just hasn't been able to get the job done in the big games. All right, coming to 12 laps to go. Time is running out for the field. Zilic now 3 laps down. Nothing really happened. That's exactly how, how it played out. All right, I'll see you, Spaceman. Yes, hopefully have a good shift. All right, just might be able to do that. I'm not good at the whole resting thing. All right, coming to 10 laps to go. Haven't really seen many moves here. Do you have a replay of the Sawallich hit? I think this might be the best replay we have. It's not very good. He got crushed up there. Pretty hard hit there. That brought out, I think, our second red flag. We've had 2 red flag conditions this race. Wow. Let's see if there's another angle of that one. Oh yeah, maybe the CW's posted something there. See him just get crushed there. So pretty hard impact. All right, 7 laps to go. Man, they really need another line to develop here. If you wait too long, guys back in like 15th, 20th, they're not going to have a chance. All right, we have a few cars dipping down low. One of them chickened out, went low, or went back into the high side. And another one sneaking back into the high side. So we had a little line developing down low, and then it evaporated. Now, Love wants to win for himself, so how willing is Hill to work with Love and vice versa, Love and Hill? Love's trying to lock himself in. Hill is out of the playoffs, so we know Hill's going to try to win for himself. He doesn't really work with teammates. He's not well known for that. Quite the opposite. And Allgaier in second, he's going to want to make a move. How willing is Love to go with him? and Sammy Smith back there in 5th. That's the nearest JRM car. Carson Kvapil's mired back in traffic currently. Outside the top 10. All right, 4 laps to go. When are we going to see a move? There's no inside line. It's like these guys are all terrified to be the first one to step out. They need about at least 10 cars to break down to that inside line. We have 3 down low. You know, they'll go down low for a lap. It doesn't work. They find somewhere in the top lane to slot back in. That's the sissy way to do it. Only 2 cars on the inside line. We have a third dipping down to try to assist. Now they're back up the track to try to side draft. Carson Kvapil probably should have went with them. If a few competitive guys dip down, that could change the perception of that inside line, and it could form up. 3 laps to go. And the inside line has died off again. Nothing. No movement. This is so frustrating to watch. All right, we have a few cars dipping down low. Seems like they'll dip down low for 1 corner. It doesn't work. They tuck back in. All right, several more cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars down there. Carson Kvapil is going to get stuck on that high side. He should have went low when he had the shot. Not a great move for Carson there. Coming to 2 to go. Sammy Smith, do you want to win? Do you want to win? Who wants to go to the inside line? Who wants to be a millionaire? Looked like Almirola was in the wall there for a second. Jesse Love to the inside. Almirola's all over the back of Allgaier. We have cars going around. Almirola hard into the wall. And that'll be our big caution. Will this be the one that brings out several more? Almirola with a hard hit. Back into the whole car may have been in the air. That was a hard hit into the outside wall in the backstretch. We are going to overtime at Talladega. Some damage there for Jeb Burton. I'm fine with Eric getting hit. I don't like how he races these guys that are racing for a full season championship. If we're going to ban cup drivers from racing in the playoffs, part-timers need to go as well. Unless you're legitimately like a one-off guy, you know, one that doesn't race the full season. It's just ridiculous. Like, he doesn't cut these playoff guys any slack. So it's all or nothing, you know. If you're going to have Almirola racing here, might as well have, you know, whoever wants to run. Yeah, I don't like the manipulation. If we're going to have playoffs, then I don't like part-timers and cup drivers running in these races. If Almirola was full-time, I wouldn't care. But if we go away from a playoff system, then boys have at it. Let them all up there. Yeah, there has to be some kind of a cap. Hard hit. It just showed a crazy overhead cam. Sammy Smith didn't do anything wrong there. Almirola just came down the track, got into the right front of Sammy Smith, and up the track he went. Yeah, unless you're, full-time. I wouldn't mind full-time. Very hard hit. Almost a flip there. Almost. But if we go back to full season points, let everybody run. I don't care. I think more Cup drivers should be running in the field each week, because I think it trains up the next generation of drivers. When guys like Kyle Busch were developed in the Busch series, they were racing against Cup drivers each week. And it really, lets them know the limits of the car. They're like, oh, the car can go this hard. We can run that line. And they learn racecraft from these veteran drivers. When you don't really have a huge veteran presence in the Xfinity series, then they go into Cup unprepared. Well, the JRM cars look like they made it through, and that will indirectly benefit Connor Zillage. Yeah, I completely agree, Justin. I just don't like seeing it. And like, even back before the playoffs were starting, when guys were just trying to make it in the playoffs, I saw how hard Almirola would run some of these guys, just all over them. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit excessive for a part-timer. What are we doing here? I understand you're trying to win, but if you're going to be a Cup guy or a part-timer coming in to, snatch some Xfinity wins, at least, be respectful about it. You can still race for the win. You can still race close, but like racing dirty, that's a bit much for a guy that's not running for a championship. Zillage still scored 3 laps down currently. Looks like he might move up to about 23rd to 22nd position. Potentially. That'll be a couple extra points at the end of the race. Carson Quaffle down pit road. Sammy Smith slow. Out of fuel. Sammy Smith out of fuel. Oh my goodness. Playoff implications. He's indicating he wants a push. I think he did get a push, or at least he crawled on the pit road himself. Connor Zillage also on pit road, I guess for the same thing. He's now exiting pit road already, according to this tracker over here. Oh, is that just for the battle cam, or is that for... Are they actually showing the full race finally? Because back during the springtime, when people were really getting mad about the CW's coverage, they were saying they were going to start showing the full race on the website and app. And as far as I know, they never did. Yeah, battle cam, yeah. That's crazy. I really like the CW and their coverage, but there's a few things that could really be fixed. Yeah, they need to get fuel back into it now, because it was completely out. So from what I've seen, they haven't gotten it refired yet, and he's about to go a lap down. Oh, he got it refired. He's just going to escape the pack. We have several cars coming on the pit road to get fuel, I guess. Oh my goodness. I don't want to put this out into the universe, speak this into existence, But imagine we refire in this overtime restart and someone runs out of fuel and stacks the field up. So this display we have here is, as of right now, way ahead of what they're showing on TV. Earlier, it was pretty much synced up, and now it's like way ahead. And I'm on antenna, so I'm ahead of most other streams. Yeah, there's always a few things that people can work on. Even if you have a good product, there's always going to be a few things you can build on. Like, I really enjoy Battlefield 6, but there's some things that need work. I really enjoy NASCAR 25, but there's some things that need a little work. Can Austin Hill make it to the end? Is he trying to stay out? Austin Hill staying out another lap. If we restart and Austin Hill runs out of fuel in front of the field and stacks them all up, I will turn a flip. I don't even know how to flip, but I'll try. I may have to get on the ground and just roll, but I'll do it. Not that you guys can see. It'll be below the camera. What a top 5. Austin Hill, that's normal. Then we have Josh Williams, Christian Eckes, Leland Honeyman, Blaine Perkins, and Nick Sanchez. This is crazy, and the field will restart side by side, so that's pretty interesting. Mr. NASCAR guy, welcome. Mr. NASCAR, what a name. We have a Mr. Racing. He'll stop by every once in a while. So now we have Mr. Racing and Mr. NASCAR. How about that? I really like that view. That's a pretty interesting view. I have to use that more. Yeah, Jeb's not having the best day. It's been a hard day. Every once in a while they find some success, but he's been involved in a couple incidents. Darkside says he'll change his name to become Mr. IMSA or Mr. Weck. IMSA's so good. Weck's entertaining as well, but they race so hard in IMSA. It's great. Mr. Motorsports Games. Someone wants a cursed account name. We just had several drivers run out of fuel. Connor Zilch got into the wall. He's gone a few laps down. Now we're about to go back green flag, run overtime. What just happened is Almirola got spun and hard in the wall, and that brought out our caution. Now we're in overtime. Got a new pair of boots. That's awesome, Mr. NASCAR. Oh my, we had it happen. A guy ran out of fuel. Or at least he stumbled. It's exactly what I thought would happen. Yeah, he got it fired, but it just stumbled. Now, is someone else going to run out of fuel? Austin Hill has no help, and he pit the same lap as these other guys. There's no one up there really to pass Hill. These guys aren't organizing very well. All right, please, please not another Hill win. Carson Quaffle making his way alone on the inside. He needs some kind of help. These guys won't work together. They won't work together with each other. This is wild. Oh no, we have a car in the wall. We stay green. We somehow stay green. The 21 just gains this extra power out of nowhere. He's really gonna do it. Are you kidding me? Austin Hill did it. Austin Hill. Able to hold them up. The field couldn't get stacked up. They couldn't work together. That was unreal. And probably what threw them off was, I guess, was it Leland Honeyman? Someone got in the outside wall. Didn't bring out the caution, but it split up the field just enough. How did he make it? We had so many guys come down and take fuel, and Austin Hill made it last. I don't necessarily have a favorite. I keep up with Allgaier the most in the Xfinity series, but you know, those drivers, most of them come and go. So that's, you know, really why I stay with Allgaier. For Cup, I mean, I like the 24 because I was a Jeff Gordon fan, but I don't really have a favorite anymore. I have guys I root for, and I have guys I root against. Yeah, Hill not going to win a championship, and no one's locked into the next round. I need them to show the points. If they show the points, I'll try to get a picture. $12 original glazed dozen with code burnout. That's Krispy Kreme. With code burnout, you can get a $12 original glazed dozen. Dude, inflation is crazy. Donuts should not be that expensive. $1 for a little donut? Oh my goodness. What have we... And that's with a deal. That's with a promo code. Golly, I don't like it here anymore. I like Bowman. I have a few of his die casts. I think he has a funny little personality. Very dry sense of humor, but I love it. Javier says Austin Hill wrecked Sanchez on purpose. It sucks so much to go to a race and see Austin Hill win. You sit there and he leads half the laps, or he's up front, and it's just another Austin Hill win at a plate track. Ugh, I've been there for several. Yeah, Richard and Dale. Richard Petty, I forget which distillery it was. He has a moonshine now named after him. It's called Petty's Punch. Or Petty Punch, something like that. See if I can find it. Just Googling it brought me nothing. Yes, Richard Petty's Petty Punch, Sugarland's Distilling Company. And I like the product. I'll pull it up. Not the product, but I like the packaging. I guess that's what I mean to say. Petty Punch has the Richard Petty logo. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, he was... I understand what you mean, Michael, but what he was saying is he likes Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. Specifically, Dale Earnhardt, rest in peace. Petty Punch. How about that? They need to get a Petty Punch race car. Give them an excuse to use the STP colors. That's crazy that Hill didn't run out of fuel there. Everyone else, you know, they were dropping like flies. We had a car stumble on the restart, but none of the other cars up front ran out either. So I guess it's not the craziest thing, but another Austin Hill win. Not bad. Almost 1,500 of you guys in here during the stream, even though we started almost a full stage after the race. That Mr. NASCAR, they did not dislike each other. There's a NASCAR documentary, I think it's called Rivals, and it's about the rivalry between Gordon and Earnhardt. And they showed several, videos, interviews with Gordon. They were actually working together to create a false sense of a rivalry so they would sell more merchandise. And Earnhardt was actually giving Gordon plenty of insider information about how to make tons of money off of his name. And so they were working together pretty well. So it sounds like you bought exactly into what they wanted you to buy into. Anyone belongs in the DQ category. You hope Austin Hill fails, but I don't think they will. It's the craziest thing how they just have so much speed at the play tracks, but not really anywhere else. Maybe, Hill might go back to back. He might win at Martinsville as well. Remember, I won't be live next week. I might have time to do like a post-race video or something, but I won't be live next week for the races because I will be traveling. I will be posting videos of that. So, and I may be live, just walking around the city. So, I will still have content going up, just not a lot of NASCAR stuff next weekend. Might be live Friday. When is our next truck race? Let's go to J-Ski. Friday? Yeah, I'll probably be live Friday for the truck race. That'll be it for next weekend. Oh, no, it definitely happened, NASCAR guy. It definitely happened. Yeah. Earnhardt definitely got into Gordon. It happened, but it wasn't because they disliked each other. I looked at it more of a teaching moment. It's a great documentary. Let me see if I can find it for you. Oh, it's called Unrivaled. Earnhardt versus Gordon. Is the full thing on YouTube? Oh my goodness. Someone uploaded the full thing on YouTube. I'll post it here, guys, okay? Oh, you found it? Well, that's the documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, Unrivaled. Earnhardt versus Gordon. There it is. All right, in Victory Lane. I've been there a few times. The King is dead. He was actually there with me. Let's go stream settings. I guess I can't add a redirect. Right now, I would like to. All right, guys, I think we'll wrap up here. We may go live later with something, but until then, hope you guys have a good one. We'll probably be live tomorrow for the Cup race and then our post-race show. So if any of you guys want to call in tomorrow for our Cup race show, or a post-race show, go ahead and you can call that number on screen at the appropriate time. But until next time, guys. Yeah, CW brought back the race winner in Victory Lane. I love to see that. It actually means something. Victory Lane's a pretty cool experience. Yeah, you got to go watch that documentary. Hopefully we see you around here a little bit more, NASCAR guy. Good to see you. But until next time, guys, hope you all have a good one. And hope to see you all in the next one.